some girls in my community, whenever they just have a glimpse of their money, just like to spend it all, right? So I was like, why not build? Why not build on those money that you got? The time for big cars will come. The time for wear the wigs will come. The time for the flashy cars, for the flashy clothes, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
So like what I normally tell my people, my employees, like when I started Sarhap, right? I was with nothing, with 0 cents. There was nothing there. I remember my first store, there was nothing there. Even my brother-in-law came, was like, how is it? How are you going to pay shopping every month?
What is this?
Exactly.
Sarhap Podcast, brought to you by Sarhap Hairline.
Good afternoon, good evening, no matter the time. Welcome to Sarhap Podcast. My name is Lebogang Sibanda, and this is our first episode, and I welcome you. In my midst today, I've got none other than Sarah Oluchi Ibeabuchi. Did I say that correctly?
Yes. But it's Ibeabuchi.
Ibeabuchi.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Welcome, my Ibu girl. Looking so
you.
stunning as always.
Thank you.
How do you feel today?
I feel very exciting, challenging, and very nervous at the same time, but I'm happy to be here.
It's kind of hard to believe that you would be nervous. Like, do they know who you are?
Okay, maybe behind the scenes, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a very shy person, but I'm very bubbly as well. Yeah, so yeah.
All right. This is so exciting. It's our first ever episode of the Sarhap podcast. I'm sure people are so inclined of like Sarhap Bombshells, Sarhap Hairline, Sarhap Academy that's coming
girl.
soon, which we're going to have a conversation about.
Yeah.
Sarhap podcast. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start here. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? Like, tell us about yourself.
Okay. First of all, my name is Sarah. I grew up from Nigeria, from a very challenging community, right? So I grew up in a private community where youths, they are self-willing, they want to be an entrepreneur. Due to the economy, the way people are there, the way the economy is, right? So I grew up in a vibrant community. So we believe in self-motivation, and also about myself, I just turned 30, and also I'm very exciting. So being a 30-year-old young entrepreneur, it's very beautiful. Everybody wish to achieve what I've achieved. So yeah, so I'm an Igbo girl, all the way from Nigeria, and also I'm married with 2 kids, and I'm also the CEO and the founder of Sarhap Hairline, Sarhap Bombshells Boutique, Sarhap Skincare Solution, and also Sarhap Properties as the co-founder, and also Sarhap Academy that is coming up very soon. So yeah,
Amazing. Your bio is very interesting, inspiring, and just extraordinary. I love how you mentioned that you come from a very challenging community. And I think there's a lot of people that are watching right now quite intrigued about how did she make it, the determination and the zeal. Tell me more about that. What made you feel like I want to be different? I'm looking around me, there's poverty, there's challenging situations that I do not want to find myself being in, or my kids rather. Tell me, what made you become so determined to want to be different?
Okay. Growing up as a young girl, and you see a lot of young girls, what they're doing out there, right? And you're like, no, I know I can do better. I can bring a change to my community. I can, if Oprah Winnie is doing that and she doesn't have 2 heads, so what about you? You can do much better, So that's where I draw also my inspiration from, and also from women in business, also that are very inspiring, that are breaking boundaries, So living in the community, and like me as a lady, I love to be very independent. I don't have to depend on a man for my sugar, for my milk, for my sanitary pads, So I love to be a working lady, hands-on. I'm always hands-on. If you even go to my salon now, my business industry, you know that I'm hands-on, And also it's very challenging when you have employees that just quit all of a sudden, and they think that without them you can't do it, you know. And I also hear some challenging stories of also entrepreneurs that how do you do it? How do you stay in business? How do you make sure? I said, because I'm hands on. I know how to do hair. You know, I know how to, like, I first set an example for myself, an example that people need to follow. So if, for instance, I can't be saying, be early at work and I'm also late, right? So that is not a good example. So I must also be on time at work, and I also set the example for my employees to be at time at work. That is me. So I set an example and I want people to follow suit, right? So yeah, that is it. So, yeah.
That's incredible. Once again, you never cease to amaze me. Like, you never ever cease to amaze me. Even how you mentioned all your, your businesses, your entities. Like, I just am so intrigued by why from beauty to property. I'm just thinking at the back of my mind, beauty, then property. What makes you think you fit in all of these industries, instead of just delving into beauty and fashion, which you already are dominating? Why then, property?
Yeah. Okay. My husband is like the founder of the property. Like, I'm that kind of person I like to support, right? So I feel that I'm the brains in it, right? So he's just there, like maybe guarding the money and trying to fix things together. But I feel that God has gifted me to be able to work in this 21st century, whereby you can work with technology. Like now, I can work with Bookie.com. He doesn't know what Bookie.com is, so I have to help him, right? I have to help him. So that's why I'm saying I'm the co-founder. So I have to help him in the booking, like make sure that our bookings doesn't clash, So why property, in the sense that as a supporting wife, I have to support him, right? I have to support his vision, because he also supports the beauty aspect of our lives. So I also support his property and whatever he's doing. So yeah, so that's why property comes along. And also a once wise man once said that being financially independent, like financially free, not having problems in life, and building legacies, if you having different business entities, different business opportunities, you see an opportunity that comes out, you grab it and you make sure you make it work. So yeah, so any business entrepreneur, like a business person, whenever you see an opportunity that, okay, because you can say hair, it's my bread and butter. You can, even if one is not working, this one must work. That's how it must be. So you must not rely on only hair and only makeup and things like that. You must also have, to be successful entrepreneur, you must also have business entities and business ventures you make sure that they must do well.
Business lady. So, my God, did you go to business school, Harvard maybe?
Not really. No.
So
Never.
It's all God.
Yes.
It's all God. And I think you're such a brain. I must commemorate you on that.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your Forbes nomination. Hello, everybody.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's such an achievement.
Yeah, very.
Did you ever imagine that you could be on Forbes?
Not really. Like it's just happening like magic, Like you're just a small girl from a small town, and all of a sudden these big things are happening to you. You don't know how to express it. You don't know how to feel. I'm just grateful. That is it.
You know how you always say, small girl, big God?
Yeah.
Now you're manifesting that.
Yes, yeah.
Because you always speak about that. And I think I'm very, very proud of you. And I think your family as well must be proud of you. I wonder, like, your mom, your dad maybe, what do they say all the way from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Looking at you shine like the star that you are.
Yeah.
What are their comments?
Okay. I think for my parents, they normally tell me a story when I was born, right? So they think they were having a second boy as a child, right? But God told them that Oluchukwu is coming. They must name me Josephine, right? Or Joseph. And if you go back to the Bible, Joseph, wherever he steps, he's very prosperous. Even right there in the prison, wherever he lays his hand, it's very prosperous. So that's why it's like, so meaning they saw that God was telling them that Joseph is coming. Meaning, who is Joseph? Joseph is a child of prosperity. Even among his brothers, he was very prosperous. Even when they tried to close him, they tried to cover his sources. But God his name was already there, out there, you know. So when my parents see me achieving these good things of life, they're very proud, like meaning God did not make a mistake in telling them that Josephine is coming, you know. So my other name is Josephine. Yeah, if you don't know. Yeah. So it's Sarah Josephine, yeah. So yeah. So I think they know before that there's a star that God has that they saw coming, right? So yeah. So they're very proud of me, and they're very proud of even when they came to South Africa and they saw the Samsung shop, they were screaming. Like even my dad came to my office seat in Southtown, like, wow, this is my daughter's seat, this is my daughter's office, you know. He was just so proud as a father,
Amazed.
you know, that he gave birth to a child like me that can achieve this much, and very inspiring. Yeah.
I love your level of humility. I think that's what draws me closer to you.
Thank you.
The fact that you can be so big, so grand, and so great, but rooted in the principles of God, rooted in humility. That's what makes you great. The fact that you are humble and, you know, you just, that's what makes you stand out. Yeah. So, Josephine, now, as you mentioned that, you know, Joseph, with all the challenges, I'd like to know, did you ever go through any challenges? Business, childhood, you did mention that you came from a very challenging environment. But I just want to know, in your personal life, in business, did you endure any obstacles, challenges? Did you go through any of those?
Okay. At first, when I came to South Africa, at first in 2016, I didn't know I would I would never know if they say I'm going to have this brand 10 years or 8 years from now, I would like, girl, you're joking. I will never, like, coming from this background, you know, not that we are like, we are where to do. So we weren't born with a silver spoon. We're just like an average family in Nigeria, right? So yeah. So coming to SA, you know, my husband was into phone. He was selling phone business, right? So I was like, I have to be a supporting wife. I have to, if I'm here with him, I have to pull him out from his situation, right? So then we didn't have money. So back at home, because I was into entrepreneurship and into selling things, you know, like even when I was in the high school, in university, even the little money my parents would give me for school, right? So I would go to school, I would try to invest in buying a fridge and selling, we call them pure water back home. Like a small
Plastics.
cubes, plastic of water.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes. So like I sell them in my hostel. So I already back at home I already have suppliers selling bags, shoes and whatnot. So we didn't have money at all. So the challenge was money. So we didn't have money to invest in the hair business, right? I didn't know I was going to have hair, like say hair at all. So I was like, I told my husband, can I please save whatever money you make, like when you come back from work, can we please save? Maybe you make like 5,000 this week. We're going to put out 500, right? So from there, we gathered enough money to just get one hair from our suppliers overseas. So when it came, I just took the hair on me the way you see me, took the hair picture, then I advertised it on social media. And before you know, people were asking, how much is this? How much is that? I was like, why not? Why not I go into this hair thing, you know? So yeah. So at first starting my business, the financial struggle was with money. But the obstacle, it has made me to believe in resilience and also made me the kind of person I am today, to be shaped into an entrepreneur, you know? So it has shaped me, all the obstacles I faced during money challenges, like when starting my business, it has shaped me to the entrepreneur I am today.
People go to school to learn about entrepreneurship, and
Yeah.
you are living it.
Yes.
You know, they talk about being a risk taker,
Yeah.
perseverance. You literally are the epitome of perseverance, and I think that's once again what makes you great. The fact that you know, there's no story without a testimony.
Yeah.
And yeah, I must affirm you for that. And I must also admit that I also am learning a lot, you know, as a young entrepreneur as well. I look so much into what you do and how you do it. I think it's very inspiring. The world is just looking at you and they're amazed at how you did it. But with your story, it really does say that God just manifested
Yeah.
and things just happened, you know? So yeah. So I just wanted to know, how do you manage your work life? You mentioned that you're married, your work life, marriage, and being this super, business mogul. How do you go about that?
Okay.
How do you balance?
Yeah. Honestly, it's very challenging, being a wife, a mom, and also an owner of businesses. It's very challenging, to manage them, right? So because I have to make sure that I prioritize my time and I also set boundaries, right? I set boundaries of being a mom and I make sure that the very aspect of my life, the various aspects that made me who I am, make sure they don't lack. If I'm a wife, I have to be a wife at the time. I have to be a wife. This is my duty as a wife. And also when it comes to me being parenting, like a parent, I make sure that my kids don't lack. If they're there for school, I make sure I have to set boundaries of my time. I have to make sure I create time for me to be there at their work, or maybe they're doing something in school. I have to
Yeah.
be there. I make sure they don't lack. Same with the business. So I try to prioritize my time, set boundaries, and make sure that I separate work and family time. So yeah. So that is the strength that God has given me to be able to make sure that this aspect of your life as an individual doesn't lack.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Can you tell me, how many stores do you have? I know of 14 in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then I know you've got the UK and all of that.
Yeah.
So how many stores do you have?
Yeah, so yeah, you're correct. So 16 stores. Yeah, the one in the Nigeria and also one in the UK.
Okay. And how do you make sure that everything is it's running well? Because a lot of managers or CEOs or entrepreneurs, they're really struggling with, having people that are loyal, having people that are going to have their back. Because in order to be a great leader, you automatically have to have a good following, but ensuring that the people that are backing you up or your followers are people that know the vision and are able to execute that vision. How do you ensure that in all these various stores, including outside South Africa, you are striving and everybody's doing what is intended for them to do?
Okay. Like I would say, I'm a role model to my people. I call them Sarhap ladies, right? So I normally tell my managers, so in each store, we have branch managers. So I normally tell them that at this point in your life, God gave you the store to manage. So it all depends on you, how you're going to raise it. So if you can manage one store, God is not going to give you 16 stores. If you can manage one store, then you can get 16 stores. So you can you can have a mansion if you can manage a house, right? You must be able to manage a house, then God will say, oh, you're willing. Then definitely He's going to give you a mansion. So that is the normally quote I normally tell them. So I normally tell them that how I started from Alberton, majority of you know how I started from Alberton.
Yeah.
I was resilient, I was like a
Hands-on.
go-getter, like hands-on. I must make sure that the client is satisfied. So it's like, imagine God giving you this as like you're passing. I'm not saying you're going to work for me forever. You're not going to work for me forever. So this is your passing through life. You're passing through life with this in you. So I feel that helped them also. And also how I manage them is that I have a group chat where I have all my managers, right? So every morning they send me pictures of each day.
Store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each maybe their attendance, for instance now, like each person. So they will stay on there's a photo booth at the shop. So all of them must take a picture of themselves and send on the group every day. That is to show that they are at work, right? And also we also created a system whereby all the goods that we have in the store are on the system. If anyone goes missing, it's a problem. They know that they already signed an agreement deduction whereby if one hair go missing in the shop, everybody needs to pay, right? So yeah. So I just said it in a way whereby I can be in the UK and my store is running, And also you have a stock check manager that does all the stock check every day with them. So I think I inspire them a lot. And they feel that if I can do it, they can do it. They can also do it,
Yeah.
And I told the majority of them are very older than me, right? So I said, if I can do it, I don't have two heads. So God is testing you if you can do this, if you can handle this small shop that you have. It's not even Sarah's shop, it's your shop.
Yeah.
I told them that the employees under you, they are your employees. They are not my employees. So the way you raise them, the way you treat them, that is how you're going to treat your own. So if you can manage this one and treat the employees right and treat the customers right, so there's no how you're going to treat your own right. So that's how.
not just a boss, but also like a motivator,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah.
Incredible. Who was your inspiration growing up?
Yeah.
Right. I wanna know that because you sound like you have all this, this knowledge, and you're only 30 years old. Hello.
Hello.
How many people can actually achieve what you have at just 30 years old? I
Yeah.
want to know, who did you look up to growing up? It could be family, could be somebody in the community, because no matter how bad the community we come from is, there's still that leader that we probably look up to, and we like, I think I want to take that path, not the drinking path, not this, not that. So who inspired you growing up?
Okay. I would say who inspired me is my father. My father is he's well known in the business industry. Like, he has also employees under him that he managed to train, and also there's a points of time in their lives that he settles them. So I love his resilience. Like, he never gives up. Like, the way he trained us, to work under his establishment was something else. So he's my mentor. Yeah. So it's like he is my mentor, honestly. So, coming from a community that, back there home, we are very creative.
Yeah.
Like, as you know, Nigerians are
Oh,
very
my
creative.
word.
And also they believe in self-confidence, Yeah, so they want to be out there and do things with their hands, due to because how the economy is,
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think I would say my father is my mentor, because I know he has businesses even up to now. Yeah, he has a lot of businesses, and I look up to him.
So Josephine, you take it from your dad.
Yeah.
It's not just something that fell from the sky.
Yes.
You take it from your dad. And I must also give credit to Nigerians.
Yeah.
There are, for me personally, this is, nothing, I'm not saying anything about anybody, but Nigerians are very smart, creative, and wow, I mean, from music,
Yeah.
to talent, and you Igbo girls,
Yeah.
the best out of the best. So I love that you learned from home, and it wasn't like from Oprah Winfrey. And
Yeah.
I love that your point of reference is consistently like, I don't have two heads. You
Yeah,
can do it. If I can do
exactly.
it, then you can do it. So it actually gave you the confidence to say, I can do it. If my dad can do it, and if my dad can, start from nothing, then I sincerely can also start from nothing. I just want to know about your values. I presume that you're Christian, but I don't know. What values do you establish your business on? Or be it your personal values or business values, what do they stand on?
Okay, so I would say my core values are integrity, creativity, and empowerment, right? So these are my core values, which resonates with my business. And I make sure that I try to be very transparent with my clients, and also providing quality hair, that also resonates with reflects their confidence. Yeah, so that is my core values. So being creative in the sense that if you're going to be in a feed, right, if you're going to be in an industry,
Yeah.
you make sure you don't, like, year to year, don't do the same thing over and over again. You're able to be innovative. What is the trend now? Be like you being creative. So my values is you have to be creative. Like, for instance, now I would say when I started the business, I didn't know nothing about hair. Like, I love quality hair and things like that. When it comes to installations and whatnot and styling, I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to go through YouTube, and I taught myself. I'm a self-taught. I taught myself how to be creative. Like, if she is doing this, I can be able to do this, So yeah, whenever all my employees, I show them that you have to be creative. That's why I normally employ people that are not that good. If you're good, praise the Lord. If you're not that good, I encourage you. I started from scratch, from nothing. Meaning you can also be creative in your own. Your hands are working. You must make sure that your hands are working. And if you have the passion to work, to learn it, and you're gonna learn it, you're gonna get there. I can give you examples of my people that came in with no knowledge. I try to push them. You can do this. You can do this. If you have passion for hair, why not? You can do this. You mustn't slack down or let challenges or anything beat you down, And also integrity, in the sense that we value our customers, right? So we have to be transparent with them. This is the kind of hair you're getting. This is how it is. This is how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the cover lists. And I make sure that it resonates with my...
Amazing. I'm thinking back when you were saying that when you started in
2018,
2016,
sorry.
2018, you never expected something like this.
Yeah.
So this tells me that you must throw yourself in the deep end and then you'll see how you swim.
Yeah,
You know.
that is me.
Yeah, I love that about you. It shows your character. Would you say that business, I want to say it took out your character? Maybe you always possessed it, but because of a lack of opportunity, you couldn't just, fly with it.
Yeah.
Would you say that business has elevated you in such a way that, it showed certain attributes within self that you never presumed you'd have?
Yeah.
If I can put it that way.
Yeah, like growing up, I was even up to now, I'm very shy. Like we had a debate in school with my grades school students, and they were like, Sarah, please come and we need to do a debate. I was like, no, like I can't speak in public. I would dare not speak in public because I was so shy. I don't know if my English would come out right or whatnot. I lack self-confidence, right? But being in business, it has made me know like, okay, I can talk, like I can speak. Even when I was invited to Paris for a conference as a speaker, I was like, what the hell is this, So I didn't know I was going to Paris to speak.
Yeah.
So with business, I think it has elevated me a lot. Like it has shown very like the inner thing, the inner spirit in me.
Yeah.
It's coming out. So yeah, which I'm very grateful for. Normally, I wouldn't even speak, but
You couldn't speak, but here you are starting a podcast, So you'll be speaking to guests every now and then, which shows, it's such a blessing. I think your business is such a blessing. It made you shine, you know. And I also admire the fact that I'm standing here as an admiration, hello, but it has helped you to be so impactful to not only your workers, but I want to say the entire world, you're going to Dubai in January. Hello. So you are internationally recognized. And that's so incredible. I want to know about what the next move is. You're already taken this brand so much high, but is it safe to ask if Sarhap has plans in the next 5 years? What do you intend for the brand in the next 5 years, for instance?
Okay. In the next 5 years, I want to like go globally, like maybe US, for example, because I have a lot of requests to open a shop there in the UK, in the US, and also like to create academy, which is also going on right now, like a Sarhap Academy, where I teach young girls like myself that forget the economy, forget that you can do it, right? Forget that I come from a terrible background. I feel that you can stand out as a girl, as a female child, and you can be somebody's blesser, right? So in the next 5 years, I would love to have a lot of students in the Sarhap Academy, and also for Sarhap to be like everywhere, in every corner. Yeah.
And now you have the confidence because you did it before, meaning that whatever happens in the next 5 years is going to bloom.
Yeah.
Because you started off in 2018, and why not right now? If you were to spend a day, you told me that your dad is like a mentor and somebody who inspires you. So I'm not going to look far. I'm not going to think Oprah Winfrey. I'm not going to think Beyonce. I'm going to talk about your dad. If you were to ask your dad any question as a person that you admire so close, but it's somebody that you look up to, what kind of questions would you ask him? Seeing that you're so brilliant, and with the brilliance that you possess, he possesses even greater brilliance in accordance to you. What would you ask him?
What would I ask him? Okay.
But I love you.
Okay. 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 What I will ask him is this: how long does it take you to get this far? Right? How much
Time.
what did it cost you? Right? To get this far.
Yeah.
I will ask him.
That's a very profound question.
Yeah.
Because how long is a very ambiguous question, because I want to believe that our life ends when we hit the ground, as in like when we die. So the question would be, a very ambiguous question, because the only time he'll know is,
Yeah.
we're not going to mention
Yeah.
that, but I also admire the question, because you want to know, if you putting so much time and effort into something, will it come out and will it, have a proper foundation and a proper long-standing legacy,
Yeah.
So I think your dad created a legacy for you, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Legacy is not about him leaving you millions of rands and nairas in the bank account. A legacy is what he has taught you. And that's what I wanted you to think about, that your dad left you with a legacy, even though he's still alive. He gave you a legacy that you can even give to your daughter, that is going to last you a long while. And with your story, I also get to understand that there's nothing wrong with suffering sometimes, although people can say no. But what suffering does is that it builds tenacity and it builds resilience.
Yeah.
Without the suffering that was orchestrated in your life by God himself, you wouldn't be as you are. You would, you would be so big-headed about yourself. But here you are thinking, I'm just a small girl with a big God, and I'm going to make things happen.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes, I am. I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. Yes, very, very proud.
Yeah.
In the sense that I just have this belief, right? Even growing up from my community where I come from,
Yeah.
right? Even coming down here, and you see that things are much better here.
Yeah.
That, like some girls in my community, whenever they just have a glimpse of their money, just like to spend it all, right? So I was like, why not build? Why not build on those money that you got? The time for big cars will come. The time for wear the wigs will come. The time for the flashy cars, for the flashy clothes, it's going to come.
Yeah.
So like what I normally tell my people, my employees, like when I started Sarhap, right? I was with nothing, with 0 cents. There was nothing there. I remember my first store, there was nothing there. Even my brother-in-law came, was like, how are you going to pay shopping every month?
What is this?
Exactly. How are you going to pay shopping every month?
Yeah.
How are you going to stock the shop? So we didn't know. God is going to provide. And I'm so grateful for my husband, he's very supporting. He's a very supporting guy, So he sees the kind of person I am, and he wants to like, okay, I know you can do this.
Yeah.
Push it. I know you can get it, So at first, when the money starts coming in, I didn't rush to get myself clothes. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that, but
Yeah.
I just believe that if you invest more in the foundation and build a solid foundation that you can stand on, right? The things that you're going to achieve will be beyond
Yeah.
your imagination, That's what helped me growing up, even in my business. I didn't rush to the car. I didn't rush to the flashy things. I didn't rush. Because I know, even when I started, I couldn't even have myself my own wig. But now I'm wearing wigs of almost how much now? You see? Yeah, so like I feel that building the foundation, making it solid, it's the best go-getter. Like you have to make it solid. Then to spend, you won't be shakeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you focused on building.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you become, like, if the foundation is strong, then certainly the structure of the house is not going to be, it's not going to crumble. So those are some of the most valuable life lessons, I think, that you should be grateful for the suffering. Are you grateful for the suffering?
Yeah, I am. Because if I didn't suffer, if I didn't go through this process, I don't think I will be grateful today, Like, I don't think God will be able to give me the sources that I have now, because of the way I view life and the way my hand is always like this, it's always open. I'm not stingy, I always give out what I have. If I can afford it, if I can give out, why not?
You have the Sarhap Foundation.
Yeah. Yes.
So you are, the gift of the givers.
Yeah.
Shout out to your husband, Mr. Happy.
Yeah.
Because he saw you grow.
Yeah.
So that's why he has no doubt that you are bound to be the star that you are.
Yeah.
And he sees you as a manifestor, I want to believe. Because how does a girl say, let's save 500. I want to just buy this one wig.
Yeah.
And then boom,
Yeah.
16 stores in the
Exactly.
bag.
Yeah.
You know, how does that happen? So it's beautiful. I want to believe that he looks at you and he's like, wow,
Yeah.
you know?
Very
And
amazed.
even with your daughter probably looks at you
Yeah.
and she's going to look at this episode and be like, my mom,
Yeah.
you know? Your daughter would learn from the best, just
Yeah.
as you learn from your dad, you know? All right. So what advice would you give your younger self?
Okay.
Yeah. The woman that you are, who's 30 right now, looking at that very young, vulnerable girl who didn't want to go to the debate because, oh my God, they're going to talk about me. I don't know how to speak English well, or whatever the case might be. What would you say to her?
Okay. If I would give one advice to my younger self, like whatever struggle or whatever obstacles that comes in your way, you have to learn from it. You have to grow from it. And it's going to shape you to the person that you're going to become.
It's
Whatever
probably inside of you saying,
Yeah.
oh, yes, girl, we did it. We were scared.
Yeah.
But here we are. And you have manifested.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's beautiful. I love the legacy that you've built. I love the life that you have built. And I have no doubt that you're going to go further and do even extraordinary, incredible things, because that's what you deserve.
Yeah.
Because you know, your mind is shaped in that way, that I deserve good things and I'm going to get good things.
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't have two heads.
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey doesn't have two heads.
Exactly.
Meaning that I can do it, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
What are the most important, I know it might sound redundant, but what are the most important lessons and mistakes, rather, that you have made in business? You know, as big of an empire that you are building, what are those very integral lessons that you got and the mistakes that you made that you were like, maybe if I did it a different way,
Yeah.
things would have been different?
Okay. I would say the mistakes I made, I would tell my heart to be very strong, right? And also not to be, I don't know, not to put the heart in the business. I feel like you have to put the mind into it, because if you put the heart and you let go of things that ought not to be let go of, like for instance, for employees, like instance of or employees, you know,
Yeah.
because they know the kind of person that you are, and you forgive easily. Maybe when they steal and whatnot, and you're supposed to follow the code of conduct, right? And to dismiss them, you find yourself bringing them back, you know, and they still make the same mistake. So I feel that in business, you just have to don't use your heart. You must use your mind, right? You can use both. It depends. But I feel that using heart, people play around with you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you use your mind, you use the mind of business as a business person, I feel people are going to respect that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, those are the challenges that I face.
As a person, you must have a discretion.
Yeah.
You can be kind and good. And I think it goes back to the question I asked, what are your values? You
Yeah.
know, are your values based on Christianity, that you're going to be like, God says forgive. So, you know, even in business, when they steal, they burn my shop. It's all right. You know?
Yeah.
So I really admire that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't really matter. I think in heavenly realms, you are seated in the right position because you forgave and you did what was right, what is intended of you by God. So it doesn't really matter. A person may think, yeah, I stole from her or I took from her. But that thing that they're holding is really going to depart from them. And maybe God will add more unto you because you did what was right in the face of God. So we never, ever look at people and think, oh, I fooled her and I'm the best.
Yeah.
You know, people should have integrity and honesty and a consciousness of being, of saying, I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to harm her because I don't know what my harm could actually do to me.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it's okay that you did that, but we learned and we're moving on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us more about Sarhap Academy. I think a lot of people would like to know about it, how to register for it, and why you started it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very proud, honestly. Like I had different classes before for the Sarhap Hairline, where I see my students being like, they see how the brand is doing so well. And they believe that they can also have that for themselves, right? So about the Sarhap Academy, it's my passion. Even back at home, I was a teacher. I do teach. I feel that it's my passion to teach people like how to be an entrepreneur. So the Sarhap Academy, it's coming up very soon, and registration is ongoing now. So it's about teaching young entrepreneurs, young girls, young boys, that they can be their star in the beauty industry, right? They can learn from us and how we've gotten so many awards, like recognized,
Yeah.
so many awards and things like that. So they can learn from the best. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
We were talking about it off camera, and I said to you, your legacy is tied to that academy.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, then somebody's sitting out there and they're thinking, I love hair, I love beauty, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
But, here's a beginning. So it's a beginning of greatness for them.
Yeah.
Your Oprah Winfrey, I think, says your legacy is tied to a lot of people, so your legacy is what you have taught others, So I think this is going to do well because of the kind of legacy it's going to present.
Yeah.
And it's going to also open up for Sarhap Hairline because the more they do good, who knows? They could be employed or even start their own businesses. And that is also why this podcast has actually started. This is for you to empower people, to empower young entrepreneurs to know that it's possible.
Yeah.
And that's why this first episode was somebody else sitting on your seat, by the way, so that people can get to know you. Because I think people have to resonate with you. There's a young girl in Soweto, in Soshanguve, those are the townships in South Africa, and they're thinking, this is all I know. This is all I will have. And here you are speaking on this mic, speaking life unto that. And I think it's going to make such a huge difference.
Yeah.
So everybody, make sure that you go on and register for Sarhap Academy. It's on your socials. You can tell people about it.
So you can go to our Instagram page. It's there on the first carousel on Instagram. Please follow the link and please register. See you in the next class.
That's great. Hopefully everybody will register and things will certainly go well. The school is just going to do amazing.
I can't wait.
I know there are people that already have, an interest in learning about it. By the way, you're so well dressed.
Thank you.
From head to toe, you're so well dressed. Everybody in pink. She loves pink.
Yeah, I do.
Who dressed you?
Yeah, it's Sarhap Bombshells. It's one of my other brands. Yeah.
And why delve into fashion? Okay, it goes hand in hand with the hair, but then what also, ignited that thing that hair, makeup, and now fashion. Why that?
Yeah. Okay, growing up, right, I always love nice dresses, nice wig, and you must look good, right? And also, you know what those fashion designers, what they do? They feel that you can be naked and also look like stylish, right? So my inspiration for Sarhap Bombshells was that you can be modest and also look stylish. You don't have to show every part of your body just to be like you're dressing, right? So the inspiration for Sarhap Bombshells, like I can be stylish and also look modest at the same time. So that is inspiration. So at Sarhap Bombshells, we have our own tailors that also do their own designs, right? So we craft out different designs from scratch to finish. And we also have tailored made dresses and also bags and shoes and whatever you can find at Sarhap Bombshells. Yeah.
Was that like a deep dive from the salon business to now fashion?
Yeah, and also a lot of my people on Instagram, like Facebook, Instagram, whenever I post myself on Instagram, they normally like, the dress where you're from, you're so beautiful. They are so shocked that I'm having this so-called hair business and I'm not all over, I'm just there in my corner, just in modesty. So there's some people also on the socials that they love my modesty dressing. So they also want that for themselves. So Sarhap Bombshells is a platform for those kind of
Not only do you inspire people in business, you also inspire them in how to be ladylike,
Yeah.
how to dress.
Yes.
Talk about somebody who has a purpose in life. When you wake up every morning, you literally have a purpose. Like you wake up and you know what you're doing, you
Yeah.
know, by God's grace, of course.
Amen.
That's intriguing. Any future plans for Sarhap Bombshells?
Yes, yes, definitely. I want to have my own for now because it's still an upgoing business and it's coming up, right? I want to have my own designs whereby I'll be the next Gucci, the next Louis Vuitton. That is
yes.
my goal for Sarah Bombshells, to be on the walkway with our modest dressing, you know. So yeah, well, we need to show the world that we can be stylish and also be modest.
Yeah, definitely. And you look really, really good. And you always look good.
Thank you.
People should check you out on Instagram.
Yeah.
You look incredible. And I love your style and I admire it so much, you know?
Yeah.
I think when you fetch your kids from school, they're like
Yeah.
happy because,
Yes.
you know, you're not
I
embarrassing.
know how many people have gotten my numbers already.
Yeah, you know, you're not
Yeah.
embarrassing the kids from school when you fetch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How important is it to incorporate style and fashion for you? Like, what is the importance as a business person to like want to look good? And, you know, like, why is it so important for you to look good?
Yeah. You know, if you're dealing with the public figures like celebrities you have to look good, you know. You don't have to dress to suit them. You have to dress to have your own self-confidence and look beautiful, you know. So I believe the way you dress, it shows how you're addressed, right? So yeah, if I'm going to deal with people, if I'm going to come out, if I'm going to speak, I have to dress right, you know. So for instance, maybe, let me give you an example. I'm not a drunkard, right?
Yeah.
But if I come out of the street and I dress like a drunkard, you're going to address me like a drunkard because I dress like a drunkard. Mm-hmm. Then I'm not a prostitute, but if I dress like a prostitute, you're going to address me like a prostitute. So the way you dress, it calls how you're dressed. So yeah, so styling and design is just, I think, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely, because you can't be in a boardroom looking some sort of way. Of course, we're different as people. Some people feel they can go with the mini skirt and in a boardroom and that's for them. But I love the trajectory that you have set, you know, for women. And I think that's also part of your purpose. You've got a lot of purposes. Having this conversation with you, I've depicted that. So yeah, that's really amazing. Do you have any fashion trends, like in regards to modesty, of course, you know, not like what everybody else is doing, but even in modesty, because modesty doesn't have to be boring.
No.
You and your duk and da.
Yeah.
You know, with a long skirt. I mean, you can wear a long skirt, but look at yourself right now in pink and you look so flamboyant and colorful.
Yes.
So what are your fashion trends? Do you follow fashion trends?
Yes.
In regards to even modesty?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's some designs you see out there, like, okay, how about it goes like this, you know, in a more modest like, right? I'm not saying be modest, you must be like an old mama.
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely.
a makoti or something like that, right? You can also be modest and be stylish at the same time. You can mix colors and things like that and be creative in your own way. So that's where creativity comes along with. So we have designers as sketches. So we sketches our drawing and we check what goes in here, what goes in there, and what will go with the trend. Like for instance now, people that wear mini skirts, they also buy our dresses, they buy our clothes because they feel like, oh, I can wear this to a church event, I can wear this to a award ceremony, you know. So it's in between, you know. Yeah, that is what it is.
You're also giving people options because if people think modesty is boring, you now brought modesty into the limelight.
Yeah.
That actually modesty can be the most fabulous thing.
Exactly.
Any inspirations that you have in regards to your brand and your fashion sense? Like for instance, you could want to depict what Gucci is doing, maybe with the skirt or shoes or whatever it is, and say, I want to, you know, leverage in that direction as well, or go into that direction rather. Do you have any brands that are out there outstanding that you look up to?
Yeah, like the South African one, the Molodi, the lady one, that she also have a branding on her closet. That's also very nice. It's also something I want to do, you know, have your brand on your clothing. And also international designers, like modesty. I don't have the name on my head right now, but different pages that I look also on Instagram that also do more of designs and modesty look that is appropriate, for any kind of lifestyle, yeah.
That's incredible.
Okay.
Any last words that you have for the viewers before we go? I know I've affirmed you in between, but I'm gonna put a nail on it.
Okay.
I'm just so honored that I'm interviewing somebody from Forbes nomination.
Oh.
That's big for me.
Yeah, very big.
That's very, very big. And so I'm just so thankful that also you gave people a chance to say, not only will you follow me on my Instagram page with hair and everything, I'm going to start something that's going to allow you into my world, into my mind, and you're going to see how I do business. Not only just on the podcast, but even with the academy,
Yeah.
So you must sleep tonight and think, Sarah Oluchi, which is what I prefer. You are so incredible, and also I must affirm you and say, may God continue to take you higher. May God continue to impart goodness for you. I mean,
Yeah.
the name Sarah on its own
Yeah.
comes with a lot of blessings. Josephine,
Yeah.
So may God continue to empower you, inspire you, because this is God inspiration. God could have
Yes.
taken anyone, Sarah.
Yeah, it's true.
But God chose you.
Yeah.
And you also chose to be obedient and carry it with grace.
Yeah.
Which, I think it's something to be taken note of,
Yeah.
So I just wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And I'm grateful that you have allowed us into your space, into your mind. You're not just a figure that's on Instagram with beautiful pictures, but here you are. People see the real you and get to know where you started and how you started and being inspired, which I think is what I'm going to take away from this, So if you have any last words, you can find a camera and say something, send a shout out maybe to your husband, your kids, and anybody that's like important to you,
Okay. I'm going to say a shout out to my dear husband and to my kids and to my friends and families for always being there to support me. And also to the Sarhap family and to my clients with their inspiring stories of how our products have been an inspiration to you guys, and which also keeps us going, our products out there, the testimonies you guys gave us, so it keeps us going. And the 200 and something employees also that we have out there, it also keeps us going, When I think of, oh no, I can't continue anymore, like I want to give up on life, give up on the stress as being an entrepreneur. But because I have close to 200 and something employees that are looking up to me, I just have to keep on going. I have no choice, because God has blessed me with those people to feed for this particular segment of my life and their lives. So why not take it? So yeah, shout out to you guys.
Oh, that's amazing. 200 employees. I almost fell off the chair.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it from us, Sarhap Podcast. This was our first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Lebakang Sibanda, the host for the first episode of Sarhap Podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Sarhap Podcast, brought to you by Sarhap Hairline.